strike is seemingly unending, and the government seems to be very, very adamant and intransigent. What we have now is civil society groups asking NLC and TUC to begin mobilization for general strike. Your take?
Well, that will worsen the already exacerbated condition. The Nigerian people's life have already been reduced drastically, economy-wise, social-wise. I think the best interest of the country now is for both parties, ASU in particular, to see the reason why the federal government says they cannot go and borrow 11 trillion naira to solve, maybe 1.1 trillion naira to solve the problem. So they also have children. These ASU people, they are lecturers, they are also parents. So nobody should blame them that they are too selfish, because their children are also suffering. So parties will be able to seek grants for each other and to ensure that they have a kind of a concrete agreement this time around. In terms of maybe after 3 months, there should be implementation, or after 6 months, there should be continuous implementation of their demand. But it's not something they can get at a one first swoop from the economic. Even the World Bank has warned us that our essential living is threatened, going by the number of debt services we are paying to various our debtors. So that is the reality of the day. Both parties will consider the best interest of the student, and the election is fast approaching. When these youth are not gainfully engaged, then they will be used for the nefarious means and end of the selfish politicians.
Yes, from the front page of the Nigeria Tribune this time around, and the story that catches my attention here is this one. Suspended Accountant General Idris seeks plea bargain in 109.4 billion fraud case. Seeking plea bargain now, after allegedly stealing so much.
Yeah, well, it's an allegation, but by his own conduct now, it has shown that actually there is element of truth in the allegation against him. When they adjourned the matter for the EFC, the prosecutor, to open their case, your lawyer hired under the excuse that you were invited by EFC a day before, and that was the reason why he did not prepare for the case. And EFC said that you are the one that came to them to initiate this issue of a plea bargaining, and a matter of a budget of even for a state in a year. So I don't think plea bargaining is the discretion of the court. At the end of the day, the court may reject it. But if you are going to give all that you stole, allegedly stole, then so be it. It will also reduce the cost of prosecution for the government, for the federal government. But mere giving the peanut, and you are going to use the remaining to establish your own investment somewhere. That is the moral body aspect of it. And that is where we have the just released Gariye obtaining form under Labour Party. How managed when he was in prison that he was able to obtain form, thinking ahead that actually the elitist society, the elitist group, government.
Meaning that he was expecting the release.
He was in the knowing. So that means it's a caricature. It's a kind of making our law so fantastically corrupt in the eyes of the elitist society. It's very unfortunate that we are allowing this kind of thing. Such a person to go what they call a moral moratorium to purge himself, because there is still a moral burden on him. Just because you have been allowed to serve only 4 years, almost 4 years after 10 years, then you now take it for granted that at least you become the class of the so-called first class citizen in Nigeria.
Yeah, from the Punch newspaper, we have this one. Killing of policemen by soldiers. Bereaved family cries out for justice. Widow accuses police of insensitivity. Police dare Nigerian army. We are fighting insurgency, we are yet to win. Now, because of a disagreement that led to the death of a policeman in the hands of soldiers, what we have now is soldiers, Nigerian police daring the Nigerian army. don't you see a full-scale hostility between the two?
It is one of the stories too many. I don't know why both authorities will show kind of ego or be competing. For what? If any officer misbehave to you, you have a constituted authority to report him on act, not to use the show of force that I'm a soldier, I'm a superior. So that's attitude, that practice should be stopped. And it can only be stopped if people are made to face the rigors of the law and to pay dearly for it. Because you have terminated a life, who is serving the country meritoriously, at the wee hour, you just snuff out the life out of the person. How are you encouraging? What are you encouraging the society? You are blaming cultists. Now you that are not a cultist, you use the official power to terrorize your fellow citizens.
Yes, we take this minor piece on the front page of the Point newspaper. We are ready for reconciliation in Osun, says Arubeshola's faction.
After the bubble have been busted, after you have done what to proclaim that the unbody treatment will be meted out to the governor of the state, now they are just being sarcastic. That's my own view. They are still in their realm of sarcasm. But they should wait.
Can we give them benefit of doubt or belief?
They should wait. If they want reconciliation, the later laughing of Oyo waded into the matter. Did they yield to them? So many other highly placed Nigerians, personalities, they intervene. It is now after you have let the us voted out of the the place.
We are talking as if you are part of the.
No, I know from their political gerrymandering and politicking that they are just using that one as a kind of a continuous mockery of the so-called defeat, because the matter is still in the tribunal, and that of the PDP internal crisis is still there. Nobody knows what can happen tomorrow. But if generally they want reconciliation, then they should show it by their conduct and not by gathering press interview. By their conduct, you go and meet the elders of the party, you have a meeting with them, not to go and use a kind of publicity trial. That's just my view.
Yes, from the Vanguard newspaper now. Vanguard newspaper, that is the net port of call. We take this minor piece above the masthead. Train attack, 6 ex-military governors' family members, 60-year-old released on Gumi's senator's intervention.
Very unfortunate that it's only a private, non-state actor.
Non-state actor.
That they are listening to. So that state actor, non-state actor himself, the perception against him is that perhaps he is the one, is part of them. Look, I don't know the reason why having even been successful in breaking into the Kuje prison, according to you, that the federal government promised that they should release your own terrorists. You still refuse to release the one in your care. And you have having collected ransom. In the case of the Osugbomaso, they still killed that final year students and hotelier and others. That means these people, they are not ordinary, they are not human beings. So they should be given the maximum reaction by the state government, by the federal government, so that we should not compromise our sovereignty. It should not appear as the state is weak.
Yes, let's go to another story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. It's another minor piece, but it is very important. Muslim ticket. Police, Pope hasn't told me to reject DG's appointment. That is quoting Governor Sam Lalong.
Yes, I was listening to him in the national television yesterday, and he said boldly that what we have now is the issue of poverty, unemployment, insecurity, corruption. It's not the issue of religion. People are only capitalizing on the issue of religion to divide us further. Various time has come, and it's so good. We should not extend it that any other person will follow that kind of policy. Let us give them the benefit of that. And winning and lesson, it's a game of strategy. You cannot tell me that the Christian and the more population in the north, most of the Christians, they are just waking up to participate in politics. How do you want a party to please someone who they know that the conservative Muslim north, they will not vote the person if the person is a Christian vice president? That's your reality. If Abiola had done the same thing by picking a Christian vice president, he would have lost. That's just the fact. People thought that people are not sensible as they have been sensible as because the religion they are just a way of life. The North, you cannot compromise it.
Coming from the front page of the Guardian newspaper, I want to take this minor piece because of its importance. Government will not borrow 1.1 trillion naira to meet ASU's demand, says Umahi. Umahi has now become the mouthpiece of the federal government.
Well, before he said it, Keyamo had said it in the interview Ghana and the channels television that they are not going to borrow. But even if you are not going to borrow, there is a way you present your matter, your arguments, not to further infuriate or provoke intelligence of the people. We are talking of almost 6 months now. People are being at home. That's a kind of a section. 3 semester, 3 months constitute a semester. In some universities, 4 months. So look at the effects on the people that are supposed to graduate and mobilize for national youth service this year. That one is almost going into a kind of pipe dream. So there should be theme in their public statements. There should be theme. And because of the president we have, if you have the president that is very active and very so focal, the president should be saying, addressing Nigerian directly, not this political angles like Umahi, who just defected from PDP to APC and even managed to struggle to get the ticket from the party. So every reasonable and right-thinking Nigerian should just get that statement, just a mere political.
Akeredolu explained mix-up in arrest of Kuje prison escapees, Idris Ojo. This is saying that Governor Akeredolu came out yesterday to say one Idris Ojo that was named among the bandits that carried out the massacre was not actually one of them. He was an escapee from Kuje prison. And that is just an explanation. But be that as it may, the arrest of those people who are suspected to be behind the Omo massacre, how will you react to it?
Well, if it is true that they are the one, then it's a good development. It shows further that the security agency are now more coordinated because what they could arrest those 5, it was the work of the DSS. All the military assets now were deployed, and they were able to get that bountiful and beautiful result. So that's what we have been saying, that let's all be sincere. The most in the military, the most in the security agency should also be fixed out, and their financial sponsors, because these people that you will see, they are not the one, they are financial sponsors, and I will not be surprised if politicians are among them. So that is the main bane, the main obstacle that is working against succeeding in fighting terrorism. So it's a good development, whether this Ojo was part of it or not. He also is an escapee. It's a good development that he was arrested too. And as people have rightly said that these 5 people you arrested, let them be quickly prosecuted. You have your iron cast evidence already in your cooler. Then this is out, and instead of just keeping them somewhere endlessly.
Yes, we are now on the front page of Daily Independent newspaper, and I want us to take this one above the masthead. It's a minor piece in him. Nigerian civil war was about self-centeredness, quoting President Muhammadu Buhari. So President Muhammadu Buhari is now going down the memory lane to tell us that self-centeredness, that it was self-centeredness that caused the Nigerian civil war of the 1960s to the 70s.
Self-centeredness of who? That's the question. Self-centeredness of who? Or was it the centeredness of Ojukwu, or that of the federal government military oppressors? It shouldn't have made kind of statement like that. Even if some people are trying to divide the country, there is a way of countering your statement to the public. You should not just raise up again the memories of that sufferings, where millions of Nigerians were starved to death, were killed. So it's a poor management in public address, public statement. It should be condemned to me. Though he was saying that we should remain united, But the way you are saying it, as if the Igbos who fought for their own rights did not have the basis or the reason in the first place, because they said they were marginalized and their leader, just like the Hausa people, we also said that the northern legislator also came out of the meeting in Lagos State, as we were told, in the Lagos meeting with the Awolowo group, angrily because of what they were asking for. They were not met. So everybody has the right to be selfish, but your selfishness should also be considered along with the interests of others. Man, by nature, human being is a selfish being. Want to take care of our welfare. A man was said to run away when the child was kidnapped. Why would the father run away and allow his own child to be kidnapped? It was his own selfish preservation, to preserve his own existence. But if a man don't do any, so that is just the principle.
Thank you very much, Barrister Kayo, the OSBC. It is on this note that we shall be rounding it up on today's edition of the newspapers and OSBC television. On behalf of my producer, Oluwatoyin Yusuf, the executive producer, Akeola Owolabi, Babatunde Bolatito is my name. I want to thank my guest analyst, Barrister Kayo, the OSBC, for coming on the program. And until tomorrow, when our colleague will be in the house to present the program, the newspapers, I say good morning and have a wonderful day at work.